It's all just psychological nonsense generally, but suppose you can do it, let's say. You could go into past life regression. Samyama is essentially this, that layers of unconscious mind can be brought to a conscious level and worked out, but not on the memory level, on the energy level, because if memory comes, people will just crack up. They cannot handle the load of 2 or 5 or 10 lifetimes. Your mind is not capable of handling that. It will definitely crack you up and confuse your life completely. If somebody is capable of opening up past lives, it would be utterly irresponsible to open it. We do such things in a very controlled condition for specific purposes for certain people, but that's very rare.
So, how did I ever marry you? I think a lot of them are asking that question. So if somebody is asking that question, you must look at yourself, what's happening with you? Somebody is wondering after many years, how did I ever marry you? You really need to look at yourself. Not previous lives, this life, how you're living. So, if any of you, somebody wonders, how did I ever marry you? Don't think of previous lives, you have to see how you're living this life. It's very important. So, I think this is all Bombay Turkey's problem. Janam, janame, whatever. I think in the new movies it's all gone, isn't it? You grew up on 70s, 80s movies, so all janam business. See, all the young people on the new movies, they're no more janam business. They're all thinking of relationships, expiry date and so if your pursuit for truth is guided by commercial cinema, then you're asking for trouble, you know. So, if the only way you can hold on to somebody is by believing for many lifetimes we've been stuck together, it's a horrible way to live together. No? No, I'm with you because I've been here for many lifetimes with you, is a horrible way to be together, isn't it? I'm with you now because I want to be with you. This is a beautiful way to be with somebody, isn't it? I'm with you because you know, last 3 lifetimes. Don't create such horrors in your life, please. So you've been together for 3 lifetimes means it's time to part. No? People keep on coming to me, they put me through these works all the time. Sadhguru, was I with you last lifetime? Whatever makes you think that if I had seen you in the last lifetime, I would ever come in front of you once again? What happened, I'm telling you, what happened yesterday is of no consequence. Now you're trying to create a consequence for what happened, might have happened. You do not even know what might have happened. Another life. This is like, almost everybody talks about their school life or student life like this. Oh, they were the golden years of my life. We know what the golden years were. When you were there, you were tense, you were shit scared of your exams, you hated your teachers and you didn't want to go to school. They were the golden years. Now because they're over, because you don't have to go to school anymore, they're golden. I think you'll feel that way about your marriage also after. If you feel that way after your marriage, after it is over, it's no good. If you feel that way when it's on, that's great, isn't it? After it's over, you feel, oh, it was so wonderful, but… that's no good. If you're feeling that way when it's on, that's great. So, don't waste your time digging into the past. I'm telling you, this damn memory is crippling you. It is not allowing you to use your mind as an instrument of penetration, as an instrument to open up dimensions of life. Now you you want to pick up the whole backlog that other people have forgotten, and that's the only way you can relate to your husband or wife. What a pathetic way to relate to people. Don't do that. See if you can find some value in the human being who's sitting in front of you for what he or she is now, not for what they were somewhere. The whole aspect of modern society today is, we don't value you for who your father was, we value you for who you are. You're valued for who you are. That's significant, isn't it? Oh, you, because whose son are you, whose daughter are you? That's not important. Unfortunately, most people are still living in that. Who you are is important, isn't it? Yes? What you made out of yourself now is important. Who your father was is not important. That's the big shift we have made from feudalistic way of living to whatever we call as modern societies. Little chaotic we are, but it's quite a significant step, isn't it? Isn't it so? It's quite a significant step that nobody asks me who your father is, they're only looking at who I am. Isn't it a very big step? But if you came here 50 years ago or 100 years ago, nobody would look at your face and ask who you are, they would only ask who your father is. Yes? That's changed, significantly changed. So, what were you in your previous life is worse than asking who your father is. What are you right now? That's what is most important, isn't it? What have you made out of your life right now? That is the most significant thing. So don't waste your time and life digging into something.
At least they're getting a little more sincere. Regression hypnotherapy. All these days they were saying past life regression. This is a better terminology, at least they're a little more straightforward about it now. Hypnosis essentially means that you're not really trying to access reality through hypnosis. You're trying to establish whatever you wish, isn't it? Isn't that the basis of hypnosis? If you hypnotize a person, you're not hypnotizing him because you want to take him into reality. You want to invent reality, isn't it? If you want to take somebody into reality, you need awareness, which is just the reverse of hypnosis. Now that they are saying it's hypnotherapy, so they are going to invent another reality which they believe is going to correct you. So you're in one kind of problem, you're trying to balance it off with something else. It may work in short. If somebody is very sick, anything is okay. If it's going to help them a bit, it's okay. But if you're asking me as a spiritual process, definitely no. Regression, it's all just psychological nonsense generally, but suppose you can do it, let's say. You could go into past life regression. What I would say is, most human minds right now, the way they are, they cannot even handle one lifetime's memory. Just one lifetime's memory is freaking the hell out of them, isn't it? If you remember 10 lifetimes, your mind will crack up. Don't you think so? One lifetime's memory, people have become miserable. Just remembering the last 25, 30 years, people have become utterly miserable. If you remember 10 lifetimes, I can imagine your state. So, nature has put a certain barrier and it's good. There are other more responsible ways of doing this, where we remind you not in terms of memory, but it works itself out in form of energy. People been to Samyama meditations, are there? Okay. Samyama is essentially this, that layers of unconscious mind can be brought to a conscious level and worked out, but not on the memory level, on the energy level, because if memory comes, people will just crack up. They cannot handle the load of 2 or 5 or 10 lifetimes. Your mind is not capable of handling that. It will definitely crack you up and confuse your life completely. If you remember things from past life and there are all over people, let us say, in your neighborhood, your neighbor's whatever, your neighbor's husband or let's say your neighbor's dog happened to be your child in past life. I can imagine you. With the kind of emotions you have right now, you will not be able to manage this. It would drive you crazy. So it would be utterly irresponsible. If somebody is capable of opening up past lives, it would be utterly irresponsible to open it. We do such things in a very controlled condition for specific purposes for certain people. But that's very rare. It's not necessary on a daily basis. Samyama is a good way to go through it because it works out on an energy level. You never come to the mental level of remembering the actual detail of it. But you see something is working itself out, which is very obvious to you. That is good for you because it cleans up. But remembering is not good. But if it's hypnotherapy, it is definitely not a regression. It's just it's an attractive name, but probably it's intriguing for people to call it regression. The moment you say it's hypnosis, I don't think it can be regression. Most of the regression processes that are happening are purely psychological manipulations. They don't touch anything.
Science generally approaches the concept of past lives with skepticism due to the lack of empirical evidence and the challenges in verifying such claims through the scientific method. Here are key points on how science views the concept of past lives. Lack of empirical evidence. Scientific investigations require verifiable and reproducible evidence. Most claims of past lives rely on personal testimonies and anecdotal evidence which are difficult to scientifically validate. Cognitive and psychological explanations. Cognitive science and psychology suggest that past life memories could be the result of false memories, cryptomnesia, where a person recalls information learned elsewhere but believes it to be a memory, or the influence of suggestion and social factors. Childhood memories, stories and dreams can sometimes be mistakenly interpreted as past life experiences. Neuroscience and brain function. Neuroscientists study how the brain stores and retrieves memories. They propose that past life memories may be the result of complex brain functions and misattribution of memories rather than evidence of reincarnation. The brain can create vivid and realistic experiences during dreams or under hypnosis, which might be perceived as past life memories. Cultural and social influences. Belief in past lives is more common in cultures and religions that endorse reincarnation, such as Hinduism and Buddhism. These cultural and religious contexts can significantly influence individuals' beliefs and experiences. Research and case studies. While some researchers, such as Dr. Ian Stevenson, have documented cases where individuals, particularly children, have provided detailed accounts of past lives that appear verifiable, These studies are often met with criticism regarding their methodology and the possibility of information leakage or coincidence. Skepticism and criticism. Many scientists and skeptics argue that extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. They emphasize the importance of critical thinking and the scientific method in investigating such phenomena. Without conclusive evidence, the scientific community remains largely unconvinced of the validity of past life experiences. In summary, while there are intriguing cases and personal testimonies of past life experiences, like scientific community remains skeptical due to the lack of robust empirical evidence and the availability of alternative psychological and cognitive explanations.